Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Soul Good. I'm Amber Marie, and this is your January 2023 Tarotscope. If you're curious about the decks that I'm using today, you can find a list of them in the description box below. You can also find links to my social media accounts, as well as links to information on personal readings and the Soul Good membership channel on Telegram. There will also be a timestamp in the description box if you would like to jump to the start of the reading. We are going to be going over a lot of information, so please do remember that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading. Please only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Let's jump right in, Scorpio, and see what you've got going on for you this month. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, tell us about Scorpio's theme for January 2023. Okay. Tell us, please, about what Scorpio needs to know to start the year off in alignment. Oh, that's way too many cards. Let's get a nice, clear message for Scorpio, please. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Tell us, please, what opportunities does Scorpio have for expansion this month? What opportunities does Scorpio have for expansion? Thank you. Tell us, please, what does Scorpio's soul want them to know this month? What does Scorpio's soul want them to know this month, please? Thank you. And what does God want Scorpio to remember this month, please? What does God want Scorpio to remember this month, please? January 2023. Yep, thank you. All right, tell us more, please, about Scorpio's theme for January. Tell us, yeah, thank you. That was wild. Tell us more, please, about what Scorpio needs to know to start the year off in alignment. Okay. Tell us more, please, about Scorpio's opportunities for expansion. Tell us more, please, about Scorpio's Yep, thank you. And how, okay. Tell us more, please, about what Scorpio's soul would like them to know for this month. Tell us more, please, about what Scorpio's soul would like them to know for this month. Okay, thank you. Wow, a few cards there. Right, and tell us more, please, about what God wants Scorpio to remember this month. What does God want Scorpio to remember this month? It's that one there. Okay, thank you. Let's take a look at your theme, Scorpio. So you do have here star being healing codes, important information. Wounds are healed and recharging. I feel like January for you is going to be a month of really focusing on yourself. I feel like you may even find yourself like wanting to be quiet or be alone, or it kind of feels like this month could feel a bit rough, right? Or a bit turbulent. It just feels like there are things that are being stirred up within you, Scorpio, that are coming up for this healing. And because this is happening, right, it's like the wounds are being stirred And there's important information that's coming from this stirring. And I feel like that could feel turbulent. Like it could manifest as this like kind of chaotic type of energy, right? Or this anxious type of energy, right? It just feels kind of I don't even know how to explain it. Like it's kind of making my stomach feel like woozy. Just bringing up, I definitely have some fear coming up. Like I don't know what this is, Scorpio, but for somebody or some of you, there could be something coming up in your experience that like it may be stuff that you're supposed to be dealing with, and it could like make you like almost feel physically ill. um Maybe it gives you so much anxiety that it makes you feel physically ill, right? Or you could even possibly like make yourself ill. I'm not a doctor, I'm just a girl on YouTube. I do not, cannot give medical advice. But you know, there could be something like it's actually making you feel sick, right? And so that could be why, right? Like you kind of feel like you want to like pull away from people, right? I feel like a lot, like, how do I word this? Scorpio, it feels like a lot of your energy is focused on essentially just like, I want to say like just surviving, right? Like I'm not saying that in the sense of like that you're, you know, super unhappy or anything like that, right? But it's just a matter of like I feel like all of the energy that you have currently is being devoted to getting you through each day, because I feel like it feels like it's taking that much of your energy to just kind of deal with all of the things that are coming in. Okay. But I feel like, again, I feel like these things are coming up to be healed. They're coming up to be essentially, the energy is coming up to be moved, right? To have light shed on it. Um, so if you find yourself feeling anxious or something like that, you know what I would say? Like, look into that further, because there's likely some important information there. You have sacred inner space, sacral chakra, tenderness, and sensuality, right? I feel like, yeah, again, like there's things. So it's interesting because I'm getting all sorts of messages. Like I just had important information coming online. And what's interesting is that this sacred inner space card is this representation of essentially tapping into bits of yourself that you've previously ignored or pushed down or been unaware of, right? Essentially, like them coming online or you gaining access to them, right? So again, I feel like this is what's going on, and I do feel like there's a need for you to be very tender with yourself, because I feel like it's a, how do I word this, please? But yes, thank you. It's like this massive undertaking that you're experiencing with this healing, whatever's coming up for you. And I do want to say, Scorpio, that I feel like this is, how do I word this? I almost feel like the energy is like demanding you to be present for yourself, right? Which is why it may like come down to you actually feeling ill, right? Because I feel like the energy is actually forcing you to look at yourself, right? Take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. You have here solar light upgrade as well, solar plexus chakra, inner fire, and willpower. Yeah, again, I feel like this month is taking a lot of that willpower, right? I feel like it's taking a lot of that energy for you to move through the things, because I feel like it's a big transformative process for you, I feel, this month, or at least the start of it. Because again, it really feels like it's demanding you to show up for yourself, right? And I do feel like this is part of that willpower, part of that inner fire, right? I feel like these things are, again, they're like demanding your attention, demanding your focus, how I'm seeing it. It's very interesting to me. I don't know that I've ever really got something like that from these cards coming out this way. From the tarot, yeah, you have the Two of Wands. I mean, and this is get comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? This is an energy of essentially like planning and making decisions, and so a lot of times this is kind of like that card of like leaving home, right? Or leaving your comfort space. And I do feel like carrying the things that are being stirred has been your comfort space, right? Like you've learned how or adapted to living with these things, right? Carrying these things. And so what I feel January is bringing for you, Scorpio, is actually it's stirring all the things up and saying, hey, we're not meant to be carrying all this stuff. We're not meant to be pushing all this stuff down or to be ignoring it or, just packing it all in. No, we're meant to be, learning from it, gaining important information and moving forward. And so, I feel like there's a need here for you to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? And decide to move forward, right? Decide to have a new experience, to leave your comfort zone. And I feel, you guys, so I'm like sitting here saying this, right? And it's for whatever reason, like, I don't know if this is just like one of you or what, but I feel like you guys are like, what? Like, what did you just say to me? You want me to do what? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I mean, here's the thing though. Like, this is where you're going to find that inner peace, that fulfillment, is by getting rid of all this crap. Right? Like, you can't fill the space up with things that are good for you and bring you peace and make you feel full and loved and supported and stable and emotionally fulfilled. Like, and you can't find that if you stay where you're at. Right? It's like, in order to allow these cycles to close, in order to experience something different, you have to be willing to move. You have to be willing to get uncomfortable, but the payoff is big, right? So like big rewards, big risk come with big rewards. But you got to have the willpower to like trudge through like the fear of getting uncomfortable, the fear of leaving your comfort zone. Again, you're gonna have to choose, right? The Lovers in reverse can represent indecision. And that's what I feel like this is. Like, do you see what this is saying here? So you have make decisions, right? Make decisions. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because it could really bring you to a space where you feel fulfilled, where you find that inner peace, where your dreams can come true. You can complete cycles and move forward, right? But like, let me just remind you, like, don't be indecisive about it, right? Don't sleep on it. Don't sit on the choices. Like, make those decisions, right? And here's the thing that I think is really beautiful about this as well, right? And all of these cards that have come out in the tarot for you, Scorpio, they all have these rainbow colors on them, and that is a symbol of protection. And I do feel like, even though it may feel very turbulent, and even though maybe you feel like you're alone, and maybe you feel like nothing can understand you, and you're just out here like, all by your lonesome, like no help. Like, spirit is supporting you and protecting you and trying to lead you and guide you, right? Again, you have star being healing codes, like you are supported, but no, like you have to make the decision that you want something different, that you actually want that fulfillment, right? It's like, I don't know why I'm getting this, Scorpio, but I feel like some of you would be like, oh, I'm fine, right? Like someone could be like, hey, do you want all of your dreams to come true? Like, here, take this cup. and you're like, oh no, that's fine. I don't want to take your cup. That's okay. I don't need that. It's fine. Right? And I feel like, but the person would be like, but dude, like, this is this is everything you want in this cup. It's like, what? Why don't you take it? Like, you have no reason not to. And it's like, no, it's fine. I'll just stand here cupless. I don't know why I'm getting that, but for some of you, that's like, you would almost, like, you would do that. It is like, stop doing that. Right? Like, get out of your comfort zone. Why don't you deserve to have your cup filled, Scorpio? I feel like that's a question to be asking yourself this month. So, what do you need to know to start your year off in alignment, Scorpio? You have soul star activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because you have that 10, which or does indicate the completing of a cycle or things coming full circle. And then you do have fulfilling soul contracts here, right? I do feel like there's something about allowing things to close, allowing things to come full circle, or to find closure in them. Okay. I also feel like there's something here about remembering who you are underneath all of the shit you've packed on top of your truth. I'm just the messenger. That is literally the message I got. I really feel like because here's how I'm seeing it. You guys ever seen like a trash compactor or like Star Wars, you know? Like that's how I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it as like all of this stuff you've been piling all of this stuff, and like the you that is actually you, that's this magnificent, incredible being, is being compacted down, 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 down. And it's like, Scorpio, if you make yourself any smaller, you're going to be non existent. And that's not the purpose of you being here. It's not part of your soul contract, as it were, right? You're meant to be here shining your light. You're meant to experience happiness, fulfillment, right? You got shit to do here. But I feel like you're like all of these things that you've been just piling on, it's just like smushing you down. And I feel like this month is about you beginning to remember who you are again, pulling some of this stuff off of you by getting uncomfortable, by allowing yourself to get uncomfortable, right? Because I feel like to some degree you've enjoyed, kind of hiding underneath all this stuff. I feel like for some of you, you're like, okay, it's like quiet here, or there's solitude here, but like it comes with a heavy price, right? Like, oh, I'll carry all the things, but it's a heavy price to pay. From the tarot, you have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. This is fear. I feel like you could be fearing who you truly are. Fearing that for some of you, there's a fear of like, what if I'm not, like, what if my life has no meaning? Scorpio, I want to tell you, if it had no meaning, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. And I feel like some of you fear that. I feel like some of you have this belief that like your purpose here is to carry all the shit. Right? And to some degree, maybe that is some part of your mission is to help others, right? To be of service to other people. But I don't feel like it's like this. It's not to your detriment, Scorpio. It's not to the point where you're making yourself ill because you're carrying all this stuff. Most certainly not, right? This can also be an energy of confusion. And that's another thing too, is I think you're confused about who you truly are. If you resonate with this, because I feel like you're like the real you is buried under so many things, right? And I feel like for some of you internally, like it's weird. I feel like you found comfort in the chaos somehow, right? And I feel like this is, for you to start the year off in alignment, it's like you've got to remember who you are underneath all that stuff. Like, get uncomfortable with the chaos. You know what I'm saying? You also have here judgment, right? Which is, the judgment is This energy of it's like an awakening, a reckoning, right? Reflecting, being transparent with yourself, with spirit, right? Gosh, there, now you can see, I think, I'm trying to get it to focus, you guys. There you go. Right, it's like everything coming out into the light. I'm just saying, like, it pretty much speaks for itself based on what we've already been speaking on for you, right? That energy of awakening to who you truly are. That energy of like a reckoning taking place, right? Of everything coming to light, of you bursting out of the darkness, right? Coming out of that confusion. You also have, yeah, absolutely. You have the Six of Swords, which is moving on, letting this stuff go, letting it go, leaving it behind, which is exactly what's taking place if you look here in this Judgment card, right? Leaving all of that stuff behind. And that's how you get into alignment for the start of this year. What are your opportunities for expansion, Scorpio? Yeah, Heart of Source, all-encompassing love, unconditional acceptance, and serenity. I am going to reserve my intuitive thoughts, and I'm going to read you the book because I feel like this is such an important message for you, Scorpio. So, so important. And here's why. When I created this spread, this position is opportunities for expansion. What does that mean? That means that in order for you to grasp or step into that expansive state, you need to be aware that the opportunity is there. Not only do you need to be aware that it's there or be able to see it, but you also need to take action on it. Be able to take action on it. Be willing to take action on it. Right? So it is exactly that, an opportunity. And here's the thing, I just looked up and you were at 2222, right? And twos are about partnerships and choices. So I feel like God, source, universe, whatever you refer to it as, I call it God. God is coming forward to say, I am in this partnership with you, presenting you the opportunity to make a choice to be, or to better, no, to expand your consciousness, right? To expand in your life, your experience. But I'm going to read for you because I think this is going to be powerful for you, Scorpio. Okay, we're going to just read the message. It says here, you are connecting directly with the heart of Source, the creator of life and love. You are blessed to receive this card, for it shows the cup of your heart is being filled with love until it overflows. The divine energy that is with you now is helping you to melt away any blockages so that you can be open to the love, acceptance, and appreciation that you deserve. You are being encouraged to view yourself in a loving way and give yourself permission to be loved. If you have been holding back for a while, but are now ready to share the love you have within, this card lets you know it is safe to do so. You are loving, and lovable. Step forward, claim your worth, and enjoy a new level of spiritual openness. You are truly blessed. I mean, yeah, right? Opportunity for expansion. You want to talk about an opportunity. Let's take a look at your tarot that goes with it. So you have the Five of Wands here in the reverse, which is respecting differences, avoiding conflict, right? And here's the thing, I feel like this respecting differences, this is Source saying to you, like, you are the way you are, Scorpio, for a reason. You're supposed to be different. You're supposed to feel things different. You're supposed to view the world different. You're supposed to speak different. That's how God made you, right? And if you can allow yourself to acknowledge that and take that opportunity, I feel like you could really blossom. Yeah. You also have here the Two of Pentacles. I mean, this is also in the reverse. And the Two of Pentacles in the reverse is being out of balance or being overwhelmed. But it's also this energy of like being unable or struggling to balance like the many facets of yourself. And oftentimes when I get this card, and I'm getting it similarly for you now, it's balancing all of these different aspects of yourself. But so for example, like your emotional self, your mental self, your physical self, your spiritual self, right? What you're expected to do in the physical world, what you're expected to do for your own well-being, what you're expected to do for other people, right? Trying to balance all of those things. And I feel like God is saying to you, like, you're supposed to be different. It's not about you, like, picking one way of being. It's about finding that balance. And one of the ways that you can start to do that is by accepting and acknowledging that there are many different facets of who you are, all of which make up the beautiful being that is you, the beautiful being that God created, right? So it's like, it's about finding balance in them, not dismissing them or hiding them or getting rid of them or what, what have you. And I feel like this is, your opportunity here. And again, with another two. And the two, again, just a reminder, twos are about choices, right? So it's like, I feel like you can choose to respect the fact that you are different and you're unique, or you can choose to keep taking on this, how do I want to word it? It's like taking on the stress of being different, right? It's like taking on the overwhelm of the fact that you're different. Take it how it resonates with you. What does your soul want you to know, Scorpio? Yeah, you are on a path of spiritual progress. You're making spiritual progress. You're on a path of spiritual acceleration. That's what your soul wants you to know. And it doesn't surprise me because you have that 10 here, you have the Judgment, right? 10 indicating the completion of cycles or movement or moving forward, right? Similarly with the Six of Swords, and then the Judgment again is that awakening energy. The Two of Wands here is about moving, right? Moving forward. And I feel like your soul is saying, like, this, you're growing, right? You're growing. Or at the very least, you have the opportunity to do so, right? You're making progress. So if you've been asking, there's your answer, right? You have here the Two of Cups. Dang, Daniel, another freaking two for you, Scorpio. And this is, again, the Two of Cups in the reverse is this energy of imbalance, tension. Two of Cups in the upright often represents partnership and unity. And I feel like there's something here about being one with yourself, being interestingly, like cooperative with spirit as you progress, right? Like non-resisting, practicing non-resistance. I'm getting fear coming up here as well, right? And I feel like it comes from that imbalance, right? That imbalance. I feel like I don't know why, you guys, like my arm right here is hurting. All right here. I don't know if some of you like experience pain in your arm, or something happens to your arm or something. Like my muscle feels kind of tight there. Strange. I've never really had like a pain in my arm right there before. Yeah, my muscle feels like pretty tight. That could mean something to somebody. I don't know. Take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. But anyways, this Two of Cups in the reverse with this spiritual acceleration and progress, right? It's I feel like what's happening is spirit's trying to bring you, your soul is trying to help you to come to this space of balance, right? And it's gonna take progress, but you have to like choose, right? You have to be willing to do it. That's how I'm seeing this. Like it's gonna take that unity between your soul and your physical self in order to really step into that progress, to make progress, right? See what else we have here for you. Yeah, the Tower. Yeah. Like I was saying, right? This energy of things shifting, going through a huge transformational process, excuse me. That is what the Tower represents. It represents foundational shifts taking place, right? Things being shaken up, breakthroughs, challenging outdated beliefs. Again, like I was saying, I feel like your soul is saying it's going to take your cooperation. It's going to take you challenging those beliefs. It's going to take you being okay with destroying illusions. It's going to take you being okay with allowing these foundational shifts and breakthroughs to take place. It can feel chaotic. It can feel like there's an upheaval, right? Or some sort of, it can sometimes even feel on the verge of like disastrous, but it does so in order to bring attention to what needs to change, right? So I feel like that your soul is letting you know. It's like you're going through a big, big change here. What else do you have? The Daughter or Page of Pentacles, right? And this is somebody who, first of all, I mean, the page says that you're learning, right? The page says you're learning. The page says you're essentially a novice, you're new to this, and that's fine. The page says also with the pentacles, right? Those says you're like studious. You're willing to learn, right? You're willing to apply. It's interesting because it's like a practicality almost. So it's kind of like apply action while also keeping your eye like looking forward. That's how I'm seeing this, okay? I feel like there's a need though. It's like stay focused. Like don't lose sight of the fact, because tower moments can cause like us to spiral, right? They can do that if we let them, if we don't have control over our emotions, if we are unaware of what's happening and we're able to pull that thread, right? Sometimes they can cause us to spiral out. And with the Page of Pentacles here, like there's this focused kind of energy, right? It's like grounded, but also, open, willing to learn. And I feel like there's an element here of that, right? Like don't let the things that are falling apart in order to create new ground for you to stand on, like don't let it completely knock you off, right? Stay focused on what it is that you're meant to be doing. So you do have here the Four of Swords in the reverse as well, and this is an energy of stress. It's also an energy of burnout. So again, like I was saying, like try to stay focused, right? Even when some of these things that you may be experiencing are cause stress or make you feel burnt out, right? Feel like you have this like dark cloud hovering over you, right? It's like keep going. And it's interesting because again you have that rainbow, right, showing up like over the top of you to say like, and it's interesting, right? Because if we look at these cards like this, right, and if we were to kind of like superimpose one on top of the other, kind of, it would be like, okay, well, those, you're protected from those swords, right? And I almost feel like this is your leg up, if you will, right? To say like, if you experience those things that are stressful, right, or they create this burnout within you, or maybe they start to feel that way, it's like, remember that you're protected. Stay focused on the fact that you're meant to be allowing things to change. You're meant to be challenging some of these beliefs, right? I just feel like it's like kind of like don't. I guess what I'm really getting at, Scorpio, is like it doesn't have to be as hard as it might seem, right? It's like if you stay focused on the fact that you're growing and don't resist, it doesn't have to be as hard, right? Whereas like if you're resistant to to the growth, and you allow yourself to get distracted by things falling apart or things, coming down, it's like it can create that stress in you. It can create that burnout, that, kind of energy, that restless kind of energy. Take it if it resonates. That's how I'm seeing it, though. So what does God want you to remember or keep in mind for this month? We do have here Emerald Tablet Activation, Scorpio, Cosmic Ordering, Divine Alchemy, and Conscious Manifesting. So what's really fascinating about this is I feel like God is wanting you to remember, like, this is part of the plan. This is divinely orchestrated for you to be able to grow, for you to be able to alchemize these things, for you to be able to heal from them, right? Yeah, I mean, I really feel like there's something here about facing your fears as well and healing from those fears, right? And that being part of that divine alchemy, right? Transmuting those fears into strength because you've faced them. But again, I feel like God is putting these things in front of you in order for you to be able to heal again, and to rise and to get into alignment and to remember who you are, and for you to be able to experience life in a completely different way. I wish it would focus. I'm sorry it's not focusing, guys. At least it doesn't look like it from where I'm sitting. See what tarot you have here with it. You have the Six of Cups here. Yeah, healing. And I feel like, God's saying, like, not only are you healing, but you're healing the root, right? This is, some of this stuff is deep seated, and like I shared with you earlier in the reading, Scorpio, I feel like some of you are like buried underneath of all this stuff, right? And that's how I'm seeing it. It's like the healing is going all the way down to reach you. I feel like God is saying, like, I'm not, like, this is, I'm coming all the way down to reach you, right? I'm going down to the root to see who you are, right? We're going down there to do this healing. And it's interesting because the Six of Cups is not only a representation of healing, but it's also a representation of like restoration, or like nostalgia, or the cycle of life, right? Somebody growing from like the young to, an older person or what have you. And I just feel like it's this element of like bringing life back to the roots, right? In order for you to grow differently, in order for you to continue along your path in a healed state and experience your reality differently, right? That's how I'm seeing this. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. And again, with those rainbow colors, right? And not all of the cards, I don't know if you've noticed, right, as we've went through the cards, but not all of the cards have that rainbow energy. And I just love that it's showing up with the six for you, with where, as we're talking about what God wants you to remember, like, you're protected, right? God loves you to the root. You're made the way you are for a reason, right? Beautiful message for you, Scorpio, for the month of January. And I feel like it could be an incredibly powerful turning point for you, right? I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for you to really expand on who you are, to really get to the depths of who you are, and to be sharing that, in order to allow yourself to fill your cups, in order for you to allow yourself to find peace, right? And I think this is really beautiful. I really hope that something here has resonated for you. I've really enjoyed reading for you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your time and energy with me. If something resonated in this reading for you, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, commenting, or smashing that subscribe button. It really does help the channel to grow. It tells YouTube that there may be something here for someone else that's valuable. And so I really do appreciate that. I hope that your month is absolutely expansive, full of courage and bravery. And I hope that you find the will and the ability to move past some of these outdated beliefs, or to challenge some of them, and to find and get to the core of who you really are, and are able to embrace it and love it and step into it fully. Have an incredible, incredible month. Take care of your beautiful soul. Remember that you've got this, and God's got you. I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.